For over 10 years, a single figure cast a long shadow over Europe, shaping the continent's political landscape with an iron hand. Napoleon Bonaparte, once a symbol of victory and innovation, transformed alliances and toppled long-standing monarchies. However, all it took was one fateful day in 1815 to bring his empire crashing down. On June 18th, the air was thick with anticipation as Napoleon, freshly returned from exile on Elba, prepared to reclaim his dominance. The battlefield awaited his strategic genius against the forces of Britain, led by the resolute Duke of Wellington, and the relentless Prussians commanded by Field Marshal Blücher. The sun rose bright, illuminating the hopes of a leader bent on reversing fate, but destiny had other plans. The battle commenced with thunderous cannon fire echoing across the fields of Waterloo. Napoleon's troops advanced with vigor, stirring the ground beneath them as they surged forward. For hours, the outcome dangled precariously, with the fate of nations locked in a deadly embrace. Yet, as the sun hung high in the sky, a series of blunders unraveled the groundwork of victory. Miscommunication rippled through the ranks, and the sodden soil, soaked from the relentless rains, impeded maneuvers, causing delays that would prove disastrous. As the day wore on, Napoleon committed his prized Imperial Guard, showcasing his desperation to seize back control. They charged forward, a final gamble from a leader who believed passionately in his vision of glory. But the tide turned as the Prussian forces arrived, striking with fierce determination at the French flank. The tide shifted in a devastating wave, fracturing the French lines and ultimately shattering the myth of invincibility that surrounded Napoleon. By dusk, the battlefield transformed into a scene of despair. The once proud army of France lay in disarray, a haunting echo of its former grandeur. Napoleon, forlorn and defeated, fled into the shadows, a stark contrast to his previous grandiose image. Mere weeks later, he surrendered to the British, a haunting footnote to his story of conquest. Exiled to the remote island of Saint Helena, solitude replaced the glory he once commanded. Isolated amidst the vast ocean, the former emperor spent his remaining years confined, reflecting on a destiny that slipped like sand through his grasp. Waterloo was not merely a battle. It became the bittersweet end of an era, forever entwined with the fall of a formidable empire.